of 4 of analytical geometry. Okay, analytical geometry. As soon as we're done with analytical geometry, as of next week, we will be doing functions. Okay, and I'm going to assume that many of you have already done functions. Functions is your things like the equation of a straight line, the equation of a smiley face and a frowny face parabola, all that lovely stuff we're going to be getting into. Okay. I'm hearing a voice, yes.
Yes, Gabriel over here. So I am currently busy learning functions, and most of the time when I look at them, I do not know what the heck is going on. Please help me.
All right, so you've come to the right place. You've come to the right place. Because when we get started with functions, I'm going to try and explain it in as much detail as I possibly can to make sure that you're not falling behind. So what I want you to do for me is wait until the end of the lesson, so just so I can get an understanding of where you are. So I will be asking you at the end of the lesson, what have you guys done so far? And just so that I can get an understanding of where you are. All right. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Vidi. All right. So we're going to jump straight into the midpoint formula, which is something we had looked at in the last lesson. Again, guys, this is lesson 3 of 4. In lesson 1, we tackled distance. We looked at the distance formula. Okay. And in lesson 2, we looked at distance 2.0. All right. Distance formula 2.0. So we looked at how to use the distance formula to find the coordinate instead of the other way around, right? So today in lesson 3, we're going to be looking at the midpoint formula. All right, so remember, guys, when we're looking at the midpoint formula, what we're looking at is a point or a line on a Cartesian plane. So if I have a Cartesian plane and I have a point here, we'll call this point A, and I have another point here, we'll call this point B, and I join these two, join them together like that. Okay. I want to find out exactly where the midpoint of these these 2 lines are. So I'm going to call this midpoint M, right? I'm going to call this midpoint M. Now, if I call this point over here on the coordinate x1 and y1, and I call the B coordinate x2 and y2, if I want to find this middle point, I'm going to take my x1 value over here and my x2 value over here, and I'm going to add them together, and I'm going to divide them by 2, and they're going to give me this point over here, xm. And then if I want to find my y coordinate, I'm going to take this y1 value over here, add that value to y2, divide that by 2, and then that is going to give me this ym value over here. All right, so we're going to be looking at how to do this. And remember, guys, that the midpoint is not going to be like a number. It's going to give us another coordinate. So it's going to give us an x and a y coordinate on the Cartesian plane. Yes, Gabriel? Can you unmute for me? Let's have a convo.
Okay, so the x, let's just take the x1 and the y1. Are those both the same coordinate, and the x2 and the y2 both the same coordinate?
No. Okay, so we're on a Cartesian plane. Okay, my sweetie, let's look at this first example that we've got over here. So we've got the point 5, 0 and 1, 4. So if I look at that on a Cartesian plane, 5, 0 will be something like that. That'll be 5, 0. And then 1, 4 will be somewhere over here. 1 and 4. Right. So I can then look at these 2 coordinates, and I can make this point over here. I'm going to decide that this 5 over here, because my x coordinate always comes first, I'm going to decide to name this one x1 and the corresponding y value y1. And then I'm going to go to my next coordinate, and I'm going to name this first part x2 and the second corresponding y value y2. Right. So then when we calculate for the midpoint, I'm going to write a big M, open brackets. What is my x1 value, Gabriel?
Your x1 value is 5.
Good. 5 plus my x2 value,
which is 1.
Good. All over 2. And then I'm going to draw that semicolon for the y coordinate. And then I'm going to take my y1 value, which is 0 plus what is my y2 value?
Your y2 value is 4.
Good. Divided by 2, just like the formula says. And then we're going to close up. But now we have to simplify. Yes. So my coordinate for m, I'm going to get 5 plus 1, which is 6, divided by 2. That's going to give me 3. Right? And then what about this side? What about this other side? 0 plus 4 divided by 2.
4 divided by 2, which gives you 2.
Excellent, which gives me 2. What that tells me is that if I draw a line between these two, the midpoint between these two is the coordinate 3 and 2.
Oh, look at that.
Making sense?
Okay. Makes sense.
Got it.
It's because I watched the other video where you guys did this in triangles, so I was a bit confused.
Ah, okay. We're not going to do triangles yet. We'll get there. We'll get there though.
Okay, all right. Awesome sauce.
Excellent. All right. Somebody was asking, what is the comma there for? It separates the x and the y value. Thank you, teacher Nels. I saw that you answered that. Okay, I saw that you answered that. So it just tells us that this first part is our x value and the second part is our y value. All right, let's all try it for number 2. All right, let's try it for number 2. I want everybody to use the same idea that we just did over here. We're going to call this one x1 and y1. That's our first coordinate. And then we're going to call the second coordinate x2 and y2. And I want you guys to use the midpoint formula. There it is up there. If you're not seeing it, here it is. I've given it to you nice and big. Use the midpoint formula to find me the midpoint of these two coordinates. And when you're done, please pop your answer in the chat for me. Okay, no worries, appreciate it. Hi, lovely to see you again. All right, guys, when you're done, pop your answer in the chat. And if you're still struggling, you can send me a message in the chat and let me know how you're doing. And the Slay Queen has arrived. Hello, Kama. Hi, Chifaro. Yes, we've just started, my sweetie. I love how she must introduce her entrance. Love it. Slay. Love it. Hello, Anotida. Hello.
I am. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help you?
I found the answer for that question you just gave us.
Excellent. All right. Okay. So I love that you found me the answer, but what I want you to do for me is show me how you got to the answer. Okay. So walk me through your, what did you do? So I've got M. I'm going to open bracket. What did you write down?
Okay. So I put down -9 plus plus 7. Yes.
Plus 7. Good. Over.
Yes. And then I put, what did I say? I put 3 plus -8. Just that I put, okay. Yes. So after that, I had to put 2 under those 2 numbers that I've put. So
good. We need to divide both of them by 2. Excellent. All right. Next step.
Yes. And now I just have to say -9 plus 7, which was -2. Oh, and then I have to say comma -5 over 2.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay. So my first answer for -2 over 2 is -1.
Good. -1. And for the other
one?
one?
For the number, it's -2.5. -2.5 or -2 and 1 over 2.
Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to ask from you, Anotida, is to keep this as a fraction. Okay, I'm going to ask you to keep it as -5 over 2, and the reason for that is they just kind of don't leave a margin for error. Imagine if we had a fraction like 10 over 3. You know, on your calculator, if you type in 10 over 3, it's like 3,333, never ending. So we're trying to avoid those kinds of situations. So we always just leave it as a fraction. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. But your process Wow, flawless, 100%.
Thank
Excellently.
you. Thank you very much.
Very well. Well done. Mawande, how are we doing, my boy? For everybody who's just joining us or who's already done with 2 and 3, please try 3, 4, 5, and 6 for me. Hello, Mawande.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you doing?
My question is, I'm doing good in it. So my question is, should it be 5 divided by 5 over 2, or should it be like put it on third, 2.5? Because I got the question.
Leave it as -5 over 2. Okay. Like I said, the reason I say that is that fractions are more accurate than decimals. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. Hello, Rory-san. What's up, my sweetie? Is your hand up? It looks like your hand up is up by mistake.
Oh,
Hi,
sorry,
Rory-san.
ma'am. Hi, ma'am. I was wondering. So whenever the answer is a fraction, and then what if you like the answer is a fraction, right? And then you press that little button, and then it gives a whole number. Should we write the fraction or the whole number?
Okay, if the answer gives you a whole number, like let's say for instance we get 6 over 2 is equal to 3. That's an easy number because we're not going to get any decimals. But if it ends up as something like 5 over 3, then if you click that SD button, it's going to give you a lot of decimals afterwards. So that's why I'm saying if it gives you a whole number, go ahead and write it as a whole number. But if it gives you a fraction, don't give me the decimals. Leave it as a fraction. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Excellent. You're very welcome, my sweetie. Good stuff. All right. Okay. Puseletso, how are we doing, my sweetie?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, my sweetie. What's up?
Ma'am, I did number 3, so I need to answer number 3.
Are you gonna help me? Are you gonna help me do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Let's go. Tell me. All right. What am I gonna write?
First you're gonna write m equals to -2 plus -7.
Good. Over
2.
Good. And then
The
semicolon.
Semicolon, yes. And then 9 plus 7 divided by 2.
Good. Okay. Which is equal to m brackets. Good. Give me an answer.
And then -9 over 2.
Good.
And then 16 divided by 2.
Which is?
16 divided by 2.
How much is 16 divided by 2?
It's 8.
Good. So we can just write 8. Okay. Remember, Puseleto, we can leave this one as a fraction. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You did that so beautifully. Well done, my sweetie. 100%. Excellent day. Love it. Well done. I'm loving that my Italian is getting better. I know I'm only at excellente, but my Italian is getting a lot better. Kama, how are we doing, Slay Queen?
Oh, I'm doing good, girl. How are you?
It's fabulous, fabulous. What's up?
Period. Yo, ma'am, I think like I'm just like a little lost.
Okay.
Not like fully, like I understand the midpoint theorem and everything, right? So like you said we label them as x1, like in the first coordinate that you give us, x1, which would be -2, then no, sorry, x2.
Oh, in this one. All right, x1.
Yeah. And then the second one would be x2, and then the 9 would be y1, and then the 7 would be y2, of course.
Yes. Exactly.
And then after that, we'd sub that into the formula, and then we get our answer. Is that it?
That's it. See, the only reason I've got that plus negative over here is because the formula tells us to add in the middle, but I'm adding -7 to -2. So that plus and minus will give us a minus in the middle, but nothing difficult to do at all.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Excellent. Loving it. Keep the questions coming. Thank you. Love it. All right. Okay, Nolwazi, how are we doing, my sweetie?
I'm fine. How are you, ma'am?
Excellent, my sweetie. Are you ready to do number 4 for me, or do you have a question?
I'm ready to do number 4.
Absolutely. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Okay, tell me, what am I going to write?
So firstly, x1 is 5 and x2 is -3.
Excellent. I'm just going to name these. It makes it so much easier for me to name them. All right, go ahead.
It's 5 plus open bracket -3 in brackets divide by 2.
Well done. Then semicolon.
Then a semicolon, then 10 plus 6 divide by 2.
Good. Close. Which will equal M. Open bracket.
Then-
Give me my answer.
Then the answer is 2 over 2, which is 1.
1. Good.
And then it's 16 over 2, which is 8.
Excellent. All right. Nolwazi, I don't even know why, like, you know, you've got this on lock. Just excellent.
And then
Well
the
done.
answer is 9.
Okay, we're not going to add them together, my sweetie. Remember, it's a coordinate. So if I'm on the Cartesian plane, I go to the point, it's going to be somewhere over here, 1, 8. That's what it means. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so we don't add them together. That's the answer as we're looking at it. All right. Okay, excellent. All right. I saw Gabriel saying, ma'am. Gabriel, I need you to raise your hand for me so that I can unmute you and you can ask your question. Okay. But I saw somebody else say, can I please do number 5? Whoever said, can I please do number 5, please put your hand up for me, just so I can get you to do number 5 for me. Tiamo, I see you. All right, and Tiamo's hand isn't up. Tiamo, you're gonna have to raise your hand for me, my sweetie. All right. Sinoguche, what's up, my sweetie?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, my sweetie, what's up?
I'm good. Can I please do number 5? Yes, number 5.
Okay. Yes, let's do number 5 together. All right. And I'm starting to realize that there are many of us who would love to attempt these questions. Guys, there are many more questions. Okay. So don't stress if I don't pick you for this one. All right. Keep those hands up. We're gonna keep going through the other stuff and you guys can put your hands up for me. All right. Sinoguhle, tell me where we're gonna start.
We'll first say -1 plus 3,
Good.
comma -6, comma 0.
We can just say plus 0. Remember, we're adding, divided by 2.
Oh, yes, plus 0, divided by 2.
Good. And then close brackets. All right. Okay. Tell me, then M will equal?
It will be 1.
Good. And?
Then it's -3.
Beautiful. That was so simple. Danzo. Well done.
Thank you.
Very
ma'am.
well done. Excellent stuff. Very well done. Yes, Gabriel. I've seen the ma'ams. Yes. Hi.
Okay, finally. I just wanted to know if I could try doing number 7 because there are 2 people that want to do number 6 right now, but I wanted to know if I could try and do number 7 without working anything out.
Okay. Yes, and no, because we're not going to do number 7, but I don't want you to put your hand down. Okay. Leave your hand up because I'm going to ask you a really challenging question in just a bit. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, sure, but remember, there's 2 people who want to answer question 6.
So yeah, so I can only ask one of them to answer question 6 for me, but in a little bit, there are going to be more questions that other people can answer, and those are going to be a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to ask, yeah, Teacher Nels, we're going to have to do something here. We've got 2 Tiamos and a Tiamo, and now, oh my goodness. Okay, Tiamo with your hand up. Tiamo A, can I ask you to unmute so we can do this question? No worries, Mudikwa, welcome. Mawande, there's another question for you, and I know you're like really, really smart. I'm going to ask this one. I'm going to ask you this next one. Hi, Tiamo. Oh no, Tiamo's not unmuting. Come on, dude. Oh no. Okay, Kamo, can you answer this next one for me?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I wanted to answer question number 6.
Yes, let's go for it. Let's go for it. What am I going to write? I'm going to write a big M, open bracket. What comes next?
So you're going to say 8 plus -2.
Good. 8 plus -2 over
2.
Good. And then bracket, finish up for me.
You're going to say 1 plus -5.
Excellent. Over 2. All right. Finish up for me.
Then it's going to be 8 plus -2 is going to be 6 over 2, and that's going to give you 3. And bracket and bracket 1 plus -5 is going to give you -4, and that's going to give you over 2, and that's going to give you -2.
Excellent. Well done. See how easy it is? I think everybody's kind of like breezy, ma'am. Nothing difficult here. Challenge us, ma'am. Challenge us. I love it. Gabriel's like, oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. Well done, Kamu. You did that so beautifully. Thank you so much. 100%. All right. Okay. For those of you with your hands still up, Kama, just tell me in the chat if you have a question or whether you're ready to answer the next question for me. All right. I think Anotida and Gabriel are like ready for the next question that I've got. Okay. So for those of you who feel like you still need a little bit of practice, I'm going to give you 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a screenshot and go try these after we're done with the lesson. But I'm going to start challenging us just a little bit. Okay, Michael's like with double donuts. Love it. That's okay, Tiamo. That's okay. All right, let's look at the next set of questions. And before I ask some of you guys with your hands up to unmute, I want you guys to look at the question 100%, okay? All right, so what happens when I give you one endpoint and I give you the midpoint, and you now need to give me the final product? So if I gave you a Cartesian plane and I said, I've got a point A and I've got a point B and I've got a midpoint M, and then I tell you that this is x1 and this is y1, and this is my midpoint, xm and ym. And I say, I don't know what this point is. Okay, I don't know what this point is. I want you to tell me, what is the coordinates of B? Now, Gabriel, I see you waving. You're like, no, not me. It's okay. Let's talk this one through. Hold on. Let's talk it through. I want you to unmute for me, my sweetie. Let's have a conversation.
You got the completely wrong impression from what I was busy doing. I was like, me.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, hold on. Let's think about this. If, let's say, for instance, this is home, right? This is home. And this is the shop over here. This is the shop. This is home, and this is the shop. And when you get to halfway, this is the halfway point from home to the shop. And I tell you that halfway is 6 kilometers from home. Now, home is going to be 0 kilometers, obviously, because you're at home. How far is the shop? If we know where halfway is, how far is the shop going to be?
It's going to be 12 kilometers, of course.
That's it. Of course, it's going to be 12 kilometers. So what I'm saying is, if I already know what home is, and I know what the midpoint is, I can just double it to find out where the shop is. You agree with me? Good. All right. Now we're going to use yeah. Okay. So we're going to use the same concept. Okay. If we know where the start point is and we know where the midpoint is, we can double that in order to find out where the end point is. So I'm going to first take the coordinate, this is my first endpoint, and this is my midpoint. So I can then say, I know the formula for my midpoint. I can go x1 plus x2 over 2, and that should give me the answer 8. Do you agree with me? That would be the midpoint. It would give me the midpoint, because if I add them together, they will give me the midpoint. Now, if this is x, if x1 is -9, I can go -9 plus the other endpoint over 2 is equal to 8. What am I solving for here?
You're solving for the other endpoint by, and this is my line of thinking, you could take the first endpoint, halve it, and then subtract it by the midpoint. Then you'd have the value of the other endpoint, because endpoint plus endpoint equals midpoint.
Okay, excellent. But remember what we said about multiplying it by 2, right?
Yeah.
Now, have a look at this equation over here. Do you see how this is divided by 2, correct? If I wanted to get rid of that divide by 2, I would then have to multiply by 2. So I would multiply by 2 on both sides, and this would cancel, like I would any other equation. Okay, like I would any other equation. So now I will then have -9 plus x2 is equal to 8 times 2, which is 16. Do we know how to solve for a linear equation? Yeah, that's pretty easy. We just take the -9 over to the other side, and then it becomes +9. So x2 will be equal to 16 plus 9. Okay, and somebody says, ma'am, you're going too fast. I'm going to slow down in just a little bit. All right. Yes. Okay, Caleb is saying transpose. 100%, we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the midpoint formula up here to make sure that we're all on the same page. Midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. Okay, so for those of you who are like, you're still a little bit confused, I want you to watch where I'm going. Tato, I see you, ma'am. Tato, do you have a question, my sweetie? Do you want to unmute for me?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're kind of going fast. I can't understand. I'm lost.
Okay, I'm going to explain again. Okay, so just follow with me as we go.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, excellent. All right, Sifaro says, ma'am, is this going to be in your exam? 100%, I can guarantee it. I don't even teach at your school, but I can guarantee it's going to be there. Okay, so we're going to first work with the x value, guys. We're only going to be working with the x value first. We're going to work with the x value first. Now, I know that my two x values are -9, which is an end point, and 8, which is the midpoint. So I know that if I was doing these questions that we did up here, 8 would have been my final answer. 8 would have been my final answer. Can you give me a thumbs up if you agree with me? If we were doing the first types of questions that we were doing, 8 would be my final answer. Gabriel's like, probably, yeah. Okay, Nolwazi says, no, ma'am, I'm not with you. But remember, if I had x1 plus x2 over 2, and we did all of this, if my answer is the midpoint, then whatever formula that I did for x1 plus x2 over 2 must equal 8. It must give me 8 as an x coordinate. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. But now, because we know what 8 is equal to, we're going to make the x part of it equal to the 8 part of it equal to the end product. Mawande says, so 8 and 14 would be the answer. Yes, 8, 14 would be the answer we would get out. So I'm then going to say x1, now I'm writing xi, x1 plus x2 over 2 would equal to the midpoint. What is my midpoint, guys? My midpoint value is 8. So I'm going to make this equal to my midpoint formula is equal to 8. All right. But if we look at this, we only have x1 and y1. We are missing x2. X2 is the thing that's missing. So I'm going to then substitute x1 there. I'm going to substitute the -9 at x1. And that's going to give me -9 plus x2. I don't know what x2 is. Divided by 2 is equal to 8. Okay. All right, Nicole, we're trying to find x2 and y2. That's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find x2 and y2. All right, I think it's clicking for some people now. Okay. All right, Anotita, do you want to help me from this point? What would we do from this point on? Do you think you know? Oh, unmute for me. Don't mute.
Yes, ma'am. I just have a question. Which one is our M point exactly?
Our endpoint is this one. So this would be like this point and that point, and then the midpoint would be the one in the middle of the two of them, the midpoint. So this endpoint is that part there. Okay.
I see.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, Anotita, don't go away. I want to get rid of this divide by 2, which means I have to do an inverse operation. What would I have to do to get rid of divide by 2?
Oh, you just have to multiply by 2 out of the bracket, so you can just take away the 2.
Times 2. And if I do it on the left-hand side, I have to do it on the right-hand side. Excellent.
Yes. Whatever happens on the right-hand side goes on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So if I cancel, I'm going to get -9 plus x2 is equal to 8 times 2, which is then 16.
16.
Agreed.
Yes.
What's my next step?
Okay. Then after that, you're going to have to put your like terms together if I am right. Am I right? I think I'm right.
Yes. So we need to get the -9 onto the other side.
So it's going to be +9. So it's 16 plus 9.
That's it. X2 will be equal to 16 plus 9, which is x2 is equal to 25. Excellent. So we now know that the endpoint, the x coordinate of our endpoint is 25. Okay. So we can then use the same strategy for the endpoint of y. We can do the same thing with y, except instead of our answer being 8, what will our answer actually be? It'll be 14 because that's the other midpoint, right? That is the midpoint of the y coordinate. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try and do this one together. Let's see. Okay, so I know that the midpoint formula says y1 plus y2 over 2 is equal to which number? What is the y coordinate that we're looking for now? It would equal
14.
14, good. Okay, I know what my y1 is. My y1 is -1.
-1.
So I'm going to go replace y1 with -1. You agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So this will read -1, finish up for me, plus
y2
over
2 equals 14.
Excellent, equals 14. And then we're just going to do the same thing over and over again. How do I get rid of divide by?
You just have to multiply by 2 on both sides.
Yeah. Okay, so those two will cancel. And then I will have -1 plus y2 is equal to 14 times 2, which is excellent, 20. And then we would take the -1 where?
We're going to take that -1 over the equal sign. It's going to turn to +1.
Good. Therefore, y2 is equal to?
29.
Excellent. 29. So my other endpoint, my y coordinate of my endpoint is 29. There we have our 2 points. That is x1 and y1. This is x2 and y2.
And that is how you garnish your plate. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, bro.
You're very well done. Very well done. You're very welcome. All right. I'm seeing a lot of ma'ams in the chat. If you still have a question, this is the time to ask it. Tiamo, what's up? Let's start with Tiamo. Gabriel, I'm going to get to you in just a second, my sweetie. Hold on for me. Okay. Tiamo?
Hello, ma'am. I just wanted to do the next one with you.
Okay, excellent. I'm so good. Hold on for me. I just want to see if somebody else has a question. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Gabriel, what's up?
So I thought what you said about the multiplying by 2 on each of the brackets. Couldn't you just divide like x1 by 4? Because that just seems a lot simpler. And when you said that, it just popped into my head.
No, because if you divide it by 4, you're giving me a half of the half.
Yeah.
Okay, you give me the half of the half, and that's not going to work because if I'm at the halfway point, I need to double where I am in order to get to the end, and that's why we're multiplying.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Excellent. You're very welcome. Excellent. Tato, are you with me?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I'm kind of confused because, like,
Okay.
are we trying to find the midpoint or the one end point or the other?
We're trying to find the one end point. Okay, so they give us the midpoint and we must find the other end point. Okay, so this point over here, this 8 and 14, that is the midpoint. They've given us the midpoint and we have this end point. We're trying to find the other end of our line. Okay, that's why we're making the x equal to 8 and the y is equal to 14. Making sense?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, my sweetie. All right, I want us to try an example. I'm going to ask Tiamo to help me with this example as we go. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. Tiamo, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. All right. So one of our endpoints is 10 and 12, and our midpoint is 6 and 9. Can you tell me where we're going to start? Let's start with the formula. What am I going to write? X1?
X1 plus X2 over 2 is equals to 6.
Beautiful. We then can replace X1 with
10.
With 10. Excellent, because that's our one endpoint, 10. What's my next step, Tiamo?
You're going to divide both sides with 2.
Divide?
Times, multiply. I'm sorry.
Multiply by 2, multiply by 2. Well done. So these 2 will cancel. What do I have left?
10 plus X2 equals to 12.
Beautiful. Next step.
X2 is equals to 12 minus 10.
That's it. X2 is equal to 12 minus 10. Therefore, X2 is equal to
2.
2. Good. You've given us the X coordinate of our endpoint. Let's find the Y coordinate. What's the formula?
Y1 plus Y2 over 2 is equals to 9.
Excellent, is equal to 9. Then we're going to replace our Y1 because we have an answer for Y1. What's the answer?
It is 12.
Good, it's 12. Next step.
12 plus, oh no, we multiply both sides as 2.
Good. Then those 2 will cancel.
9
what do we have left?
It's going to be 12 plus Y2 is equals to 18.
Beautiful. All right. Next step.
We're going to take the 12 to the other side, and then the positive is going to change to a negative, which is Y2 equals to 18 minus 12, which is 6.
Therefore, Y2 is equal to 6. Well done. You did that so efficiently and so quickly. So proud of you. Excellent work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome. All right. Okay, guys, have a look at the process that we've just gone through. This is exactly what it needs to look like. Okay, so that means that my endpoint is 2 and 6. Okay. All right. Okay, Spelele is saying, ma'am, can I please try number 3? I'm going to need you to put your hand up, my sweetie, so we can actually do that together. Kamu, what's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am, I wanted to answer for question 23.
Yes, absolutely. Tell me, what am I going to write?
You're going to start with negative 8 plus x2
Negative 8 plus x2
over 2
over 2
times 10
equals
10.
That's it. Is equal to 10. Okay, good. My next step, Kamu.
You are going to multiply each side by 2.
Times by 2, times by 2. Well done. These 2 will cancel. What do I have left?
Yeah, left with negative 8 plus x2.
X2 is equal to
20.
Good. All right. And then my last step.
You're going to move 8 to the other side, and it's going to be
it's not 8, it's negative 8, yes?
And then it's going to change into positive 8.
Good. Therefore, x2 will be equal to how much?
It's going to be equals to 28.
Beautiful. That's our x coordinate. Let's work on our y.
For our y, we are going to say negative 10 plus y2 over 2.
Good. Over 2.
And then it's going to be equals to 14, equals to negative 7.
Negative 7. Good. All right. Next step.
You are going to times each side by 2.
Times 2, times 2. Excellent. These 2 will cancel. What do I have left?
You are left with negative 10 plus y2 equals to negative 14.
Negative 14. Good. My next step.
Negative 10 will move to the other side.
Good.
And it's going to change the sign into. Therefore, y equals to negative 4.
Negative 4. Kamu, you've got it. 100%. Like just killed it once. Very well done. Very, very well done. Well done. All right, excellent. Mawande, how are you doing?
Hi, ma'am. I would like to do 24.
Excellent. All right, let's do 24 together. All right.
Okay. So 11, negative 11 plus
Negative 11.
x2
Good.
Divided by 2 equals 3.
Good. Is equal to 3. What I want us to do, Mawande, instead of wasting time and doing them one at a time, let's do them all together. Okay, so we're going to say this is equal to 3, and then I'm going to put that colon in the middle. Give me the y coordinate as well. What would I write here?
So it would be 9 plus y2 equals minus 11 divided by 2.
Good. Is equal to?
Equals negative 11.
Negative 11. Good. Then we can do it all in one step because we're doing the same thing over and over. You agree?
Yes. Yeah. So multiply by 2 for both sides. So
good. And then multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. We're just going to do the same thing on either side. Right. Yep. Okay. What would I get on the x coordinate side? I would get?
For the x coordinate, you get negative 11 plus x2 equals 6.
Good.
And for the y coordinate, you'll get 9 plus y2 equals negative 22.
Beautiful. All right. Continue,
and
sir.
For next, you'll get 6. You transpose the 11 to the other side. So you get 6 plus 11 equals 17. And
good. So x2 is equal to?
17.
17. Good. And then on the side?
you'll get you transpose the 90 to the other side, so you get 31, negative 31.
Not 31.
Negative 31.
Negative 31. That's it. Very well done, Mawande. You did that excellently. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excellent. All right. I see a lot of ma'ams happening in the chat. Hi, Tato. What's up?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I wanted to ask if like this kind of questions will be on my exam this June type of thing.
Yes. Yes, they will. Okay. These are the kinds of questions they will ask in the analytical geometry section. If you guys are writing 2 papers, they would ask this question in paper 2.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Very welcome, my sweetie. Excellent. All right, let me start at the top and let's see. Let's work our way down. Owami, how are you doing? Hi, Owami.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you doing, my sweetie?
I'm okay.
What's up?
I wanted to try number 25.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you to just hold on for me. I just want to ask if anybody else has a question before we do number 25. Okay. Okay, just hold on for me. Everybody with their hand up right now. Okay. If you don't have a question and you want to try one of the questions, can I ask you to put your hand down? Put your hand down if you want to answer a question. But if you have a question, please put your hand up and then we'll have a quick conversation about it. Yes, Didi.
Hi, ma'am. I didn't get the answer for number 22. It was Y. I didn't see.
Oh, the Y value.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the Y value was 6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. Excellent. All right, Hama, what's up?
Girl, yo.
Oh my goodness.
Kuningi, ma'am, but like besides that, like it kicked me out mid-explanation. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was my phone or like the system, but like a lot was going on. And it like kicked me out like mid-explanation of like everything. So like I was just wondering like on Wednesday, if there's like going to be time, could you just like re-explain it? Like I'll go back and watch the video, but like I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Okay, that's fine. I think, yeah, on Wednesday, we'll start with another example of these and then we'll continue from there. Okay.
Oh, please, Fana. Yo, Kuningi, and it's getting Kuningi.
My sweetie. All right, my sweetie.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's okay. We'll catch you up. Don't stress.